Good afternoon. It is now, let's see here, 5:02, and I'll call the Master Plan Committee meeting of Wednesday, August 20th, 2025 to order. First, roll call vote. We'll start with Bob.
Bob Moran, President.
Linda Brown.
Rebecca Lavalley.
Ross Smith.
John Charbonneau.
Mike Zwicker.
Gordon Larrabee.
Margaret Bacon.
Meg Schlesman.
Bob Manerick.
Rich Preston. And do we have anyone on Zoom? Not yet.
Dan, you up?
Somebody's that.
Who is that?
Dan's not here yet, no.
Sam?
Can I get my folder?
Okay, we have Sam, remote, and Dan may be joining us.
Excused absence would be...
Oh, that's her.
What,
Sorry.
Rob Leonardi.
yeah,
And Carol said she'd be here. She told me today.
So just Rob excused so far?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, if you could take a look at the minutes of July 16th, tell me what you think.
Oh, your folder is over there.
can you guys pass a Bob Moran folder? Thank you. Thank you.
Looking for feedback. So parking survey results did not find a lot of concern about a lack of parking, is that correct?
Where are you? Page 2?
Page 2, I'm sorry, the first bullet.
Did not find a lot of concern about a lack of parking, yeah.
I thought there was concern about Senator Douglas' lack of parking.
That was a major complaint, I thought, was no
But
parking.
that's what was said at the meeting,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And item number 4,
Or maybe
Linda.
it was in that key findings. Where are the key findings? I kind of wrote it word for word.
Okay.
I can look at it
Sure,
again.
sure, that's fine.
Linda, Dan is online
Oh, good, thank you.
for your attendance
Yeah.
report.
Linda, number 4.
It's good. Hear me. I don't know if microphones are on.
We can sort of hear you.
Yeah, you're a little muffled, but we hear you.
Okay.
Number 4, Sam states we need an updated housing and production plan that protect us from 40B housing.
And, yeah,
I'm just wondering if that's the right tense, or that protects us, or
That-
to protect us? Are we trying to be protected from 40B housing?
Well, that
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get a safe haven from 40B.
Yeah.
well, it depends on what was said at the meeting. You
Yeah.
mean plural protects or singular protect?
Either that protects us, or you could say plan to protect us from 40B housing. It's just a minor.
Well, that's what was said at the meeting, because I put closed captions on.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't hear a word.
Right.
Stupid air conditioner. And so that's what was said at closed captions.
And it's a housing production plan? It's not housing and production.
It's a housing production plan.
Yeah,
That's
it's
correct.
HPP, yeah.
Oh. I'll look into that one, too.
You know, Ross, I never see your tunnel recommendation in this, ever. But I think it's good. I think it's,
That is an astute idea.
Put us on the map, Other attractions.
Tolls on each end.
Well, you're trapped in the middle.
Pay for our water
You want to
bill.
get in, you want to get out.
coming and going.
Yeah.
Anybody have any other thoughts regarding the minutes, corrections, amendments?
Other than those few little things, looks good to me.
Is that your motion?
I'll make a motion to,
I'll second it.
So is that to amend?
with a slight amendment.
Okay. A motion to accept the minutes as amended. Motion made by Rob and seconded by Rebecca. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
You got one remote, you gotta go roll call.
No.
Abstain.
So we're going to, thank you, Bob, again.
Yes,
We're
Carol.
going to do a roll call vote. Linda? We're going to, I'm sorry, we're going to do a roll call vote regarding the
Linda
minutes.
Brown, aye.
Bob Moran abstain.
Yeah.
Rebecca? Aye. Ross?
John, aye.
Mark Zwicker, aye.
Abstain, Gordon Larrabee.
Margaret Bacon, aye.
Meg Schlesman, aye.
Bob and Eric, aye.
Rich Preston, aye. Dan?
Aye.
Very good. The ayes have it. Motion passes. Minutes have been approved. Next item, quarterly reporting and monthly reimbursement. Bob has been diligently working on that for us. Did you have anything to add?
No, in your packets, a Excel spreadsheet that I will update each month. This is the latest and greatest as of the last CMRPC invoice. We're just waiting for payment. Payments are coming through within 30 days, so that's good. That's why the received is blank for the $7,998.80. But that's it, and I already talked to CMRPC. We're underspending right now. We're on track to have money left over, so.
I think we talked about spending that, right?
Pizza party. No, we'll figure out a way to spend.
All right. And the next quarterly, is it October? To the state?
That is October 15th, that's due, so. Got another free pass in August, but the next one will be the big one, the double.
Very good, thank you, Bob. Anybody have any questions or comments, Bob, regarding any of that? If not, we'll move on. So I'll pass it on to Emily and Sam.
Great. First things first, handouts.
Thank you.
So I had sent out a version of this over the weekend, just if you wanted to take a
Sorry, I got,
kind of preview look at what we'd be discussing today, but no worries if you didn't get a chance to look it over. I made a few edits just based on some feedback that I got, so it's a little bit different than the one that I had sent out a few days ago. a share my screen for online folks.
Did we skip over item 5
Thank you.
on the agenda?
We did. Did you want to touch on
Oh.
transportation circulation at
I
all?
totally skipped over it, yeah. Were there any kind of lingering thoughts, questions, something you wanted to talk about based on the conversation and discussion we had at the previous committee meeting about transportation and circulation? Any follow-up you want us to do, digging into data? I just want to give,
Yeah,
take a little time.
I think additional information would be very helpful on different volumes and roadway counts. I mean, what you did have that, that was kind of sparse, but I mean, if you have more for especially some of the roads where there's a lot of development going on, it'd be nice to see the trends over the last 20 years, because that'll tie right into, roadway maintenance and things like that. Where are the big heavy hitters? And certain sections of town that, have been developed quite a bit, and a lot of these older roads are handling a whole lot more traffic than they were 10 years ago. So it'd be kind of nice to actually see the numbers. I mean, those are just my opinions now, but I'm sure the numbers will back that up. You must have more roadway counts than what you shared at the last meeting, I would
Yeah,
think.
I'd have to look. I don't know how often they're done, but.
Not necessarily. I mean, CMRPC does try and move around, but normally communities request traffic counts. So if a community like Rutland didn't have any when I was there, so I had to start requesting. So sometimes the community has to request to get traffic counts done. So if there hasn't been requests in the past, there may not be much of a database.
Well, what about all the development that goes on in the subdivisions? I mean, does that automatically get sent to the CM?
Subdivisions, not necessarily. They're not usually big enough traffic generators. If it's a large commercial project like the
Commercial
Cube.
projects are
Yeah.
mandatory.
But that's very concentrated and on that location. So
Well, I would think Mass Highway must have some numbers up there, especially at the intersection of Southeast Main and Route 16 and Southwest Main.
Maybe.
I mean, I would think they would. I mean, because I'm sure Southeast Main Street is getting a whole lot more traffic than it
It's
was.
all tractor-trailer trucks. It's a
yeah.
cutoff since it was paved 20 years ago.
yeah, but again,
Maybe
Mass
more.
DOT has to be requested and have a reason to go out and do the counts.
But they might already have it.
Maybe not. Depends.
But what about, a lot of times when somebody's putting a project out, the town requires them to do some traffic studies. Where do those get sent to?
Again, we might have them as part of the cubes, but as far as residential subdivisions, no. And as far as smaller commercial projects, like the cannabis facility wouldn't have to do a traffic study necessarily because it's not a big traffic generator. So yes, the cubes had to do a
Cubes
traffic
was, but
study.
you're only going 2 intersections.
Correct, correct.
So John, what kind of volume would trigger a study?
Well, a large commercial project like the cubes, or the town has to request them. So what I'll do is I'll start looking and I'll start requesting CMRPC to do counts each year, because usually they're only good for 3 years. So we could have counts going back 5 years, but it's not usually relevant.
Not valid.
After 3 years, it's not valid anymore. So I have to look at what their inventory is and where and how old they are, and then we could start doing every year request. Because they're very good about that. In Rutland, I requested half a dozen locations along like Route 68, 122, and
Well-
they come out and they came out and did that in the spring and the fall. They do those.
Well, I just think, to help us as we move forward with this here, I'm sure there's additional counts out there that we just don't have. And because like I said, you didn't have that many on the last presentation. I was kind of surprised. I thought there would have been more.
Yeah, I'm saying don't be surprised if
There's none, yeah.
there aren't any.
My experience is similar, that they don't have the data unless they're asked to put the count
Right.
systems in, and then it's only good for a certain period of time. I
Well,
do.
I guess, what difference does it make if it's only good? I'd love to know what the counts were 3 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't care how old
Right.
they are.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
but again, they may not go back that far. They may not have been done at all. So again, when I got to Rutland, they hadn't had any
Well, I know at some point they've been done, because
We've
you've been
been
running
done.
over the little tubes on Main
Yeah,
Street and
right.
out on Route
I
16.
see him, yeah.
Yeah.
So there have been some that have been done.
But
How do we access that?
But you don't know who that was. That may not have been
private, yeah.
CMRPC. They may not have been Mass DOT. That might have been somebody else, so.
How do we find that out?
Well, maybe I can take it upon myself to look into Mass Highway and see what they have for traffic counts. They used to have that as public information. You could just go to their website and, for certain roadways and get traffic counts. So I'll look into that between now and the next meeting, okay?
Thanks. And I have a general question, maybe for CMRPC, is, I mean, the GPS thing in the sky knows when there's traffic at the exit. Like, it knows, it shows the thing in red. So it's counting volumes already. There's a lot of metadata out there. Does anyone ever get access to that data? That would essentially be, traffic counts
Well, like
everywhere.
Google Map would, is
Yeah,
a good
but
example.
I don't know if that data is anonymized in a way that can be accessed by a regional transit authority, regional planning authority, or municipalities. I don't know. I've never even thought of the question until this discussion, but that would be.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's such a good question. I'll do some digging and see if that's something we can access.
Yeah, because then it would be anonymized actuals.
Yeah.
Even if it showed only areas where there were bottlenecks, that's kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a thought.
It's a good
Great
one.
thought.
And as Margaret mentioned, even a history, even if they're not current, but even a history would be helpful to compare and contrast,
Trends.
you know?
Get trends.
Yeah.
I think the further back, the better. You get a broader aspect of what's really going on.
Yeah.
If you only go back 3 years, it's too shallow of a group.
It's a snapshot.
You need to go back 10, 15, 20 years, if there is anything to say, hey, this is what was going on, and the roads were designed to do this, 100 cars a day. We're now doing 2,000 cars a day. So the design and development of that particular road was never anticipated for that growth. So the only way to know how to improve roads is to know, okay, in 10 years, you've increased 300%. What's it going to be in the next 20 years?
And it doesn't show what kind of...
And that's what you need to know.
It doesn't show what kind of vehicle it is either.
It can.
Oh, it can?
Yeah, they do have classifications.
Okay.
But even that, it's a vehicle. It's tires. Whether it's a truck, car, motorcycle, it's irrelevant. It's rubber on the road.
Well, trucks do, first of all, take up three times the space a car does, and they're much heavier.
All I'm getting at, as a raw data aspect, rubber on the road is rubber on the road.
Just volume in general.
Yeah, do some more digging, see what we can find.
And
All right.
Yeah.
And also, we know we're going to get a lot more truck traffic. I mean, that's the reality.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe sooner rather than later. And,
Good reason to get a thing now and then one later, find out how much we really are getting.
but with other things, the safety factor, because I know that when we get increased truck traffic, we might want to look at speeds and designs. I know it's anecdotal, but there was an accident maybe a month ago at Maine and Franklin, and I think a car cut off a truck, and the back end of the truck was up in the air. That guy couldn't stop. Someone cut in front of the truck. So it's always the trucks, right? So that's you get that. I mean, how much is a fully load?
80,000.
18-wheeler. How long does it take them to stop? So do we need to really look at the speeds? We have to really slow it down, because there's certain parts of town that they get up going pretty good.
But there again, it's the drivers of the car is not paying attention. That's the problem nowadays.
well, the thing is, to Franklin Street, you got to gun it if you're turning right or left, because you can't see because of the hill there.
And the trucks are going a little slower.
Correct.
Might be better able to stop. I just know that this is going to be a thing. It's going to grow and grow and grow.
I have a question. According to the minutes on the roadway and safety improvements about signage, it says, Will Talbot will add roadway signage to this section. So that was never discussed, because like the intersection of Main and North, that area there, never mind several others that we all know about, so needs better signage.
I'm wondering if it would be an easy thing for the police department to just print out of a number of all the accidents and where. I know other towns have the capability of doing that.
Yeah, they have that data.
That'd be kind of interesting, too. See which intersections are the most problematic, based on the numbers.
Well, they could email it to whoever asks.
Right,
I'd like to talk to Chief Miglianico tomorrow.
okay.
What'd you say, Bob?
I could talk to Chief
Oh, okay.
Miglianico tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. Any other further comments, thoughts regarding transportation and circulation at this point? Again, if the committee wants, we can always revisit this. If you feel it's important, we very well may be revisiting it, but as far as this evening is concerned.
I wonder if we make a standing request to have traffic counts on Route 16 once a year, every year, just so that we establish the baseline and are able to track it as truck traffic picks up.
Would that be through your office, John?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we can do that.
So let it be done?
Yes. And also, we can get some of the other key roads coming in too, because you want to do that as well, like Route 16, northwest of this intersection. Yeah.
There's a lot comes up South Street out of Rhode Island, and a lot comes up the
Southeast Main.
Southeast Main,
yeah.
and a lot comes up, I call it the Thompson Road, but it's one of those mains down there.
Southwest.
Yeah, they're coming out of Connecticut to go to the Mass Pike, and they're coming out of Rhode Island to go.
What I can do is I can do a map,
Right.
check and mark the locations and send it out, and you guys can take a look at it.
Good data to
Street.
trend over time. So you were looking for a place to spend money.
Yes. Is there a cost
I'll get out there and start
associated
counting.
with that?
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, that's part
Oh,
of
okay.
CMRPC services.
Oh, great.
Great, good discussion.
Get pizza.
I still want
Pizza for you. Keep pizza on the agenda.
in the tunnel.
Anything else, committee, on this particular subject? We're ready to move on, Emily? Town services and facilities.
Okay, here we go.
Actually, I do have one question, Emily. I know you're writing these as we go.
Yep.
And so what is sort of the, kind of the editorial deadline, if we want to continue talking about this? We just continually kind of write them and update them as you go, and if we want to make some changes, and when do we have that breaking point where it's like we got to cut to the chase and that's it? We got
Yeah,
to
good
print and
question.
publish.
I think next time I'll print out like a revised kind of schedule of like the chapter deadlines and all of that. So I think it's starting in either October or November is when we'll bring kind of the first couple like really full draft chapters for you all to review, and we'll send those out like 2 weeks ahead of time. And then we'll have a continue kind of dedicating meeting time to making sure the information's accurate and conveys what we've been talking about, has the correct data, any kind of images that we want included in there. So that's kind of like the timeline. And so that'll go into January or February, I believe, because we want to have this wrapped up and approved by the end of June 2026. So we're still looking really good for the timeline. So probably more like late fall into the winter is when we'll be doing like really kind of the nitty gritty like editing and everything.
So before we wrap up transportation, I'm on CMRPC's website. They do have their traffic volume book from 2021. I don't know if it's been updated more recently. I'll have to check with Rob on that one. But what I could do is I could do a summary, because, for instance, they do have like Gilboa Street at the Exeter Town Line. It was done in 1986, 89, 90. Looks like the most recent was 2021. So you do have certain locations where you have historic data, so I could do a summary of the main locations for this group and put that in written form.
That'd be awesome.
See what you started here, Margaret?
No, I think that's good, good information. Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Before we move on, Bob, could you move that microphone in front of Emily, between you two?
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Oh, no, we've gotten hacked.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
And I'm just gonna restart it. We're gonna wait, like, can we recess maybe 5 minutes?
Sure.
Whatever you need.
Of course.
Yes.
Literally half.
Let's take a 5-minute recess.
Zoom.
I
Okay,
texted.
so we're back.
Okay. While we were chatting, I texted the director of one of the RPAs and asked about using GPS data. She said, we're looking into that too, money.
Oh.
So it's dollars for Google for the data.
Oh, you'd have to pay them.
Yeah.
Everything costs.
Yeah.
But it might
Yeah.
have enough value to be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could acquire it like on a regional basis or something like that, yeah, instead of just town by town.
So that's
Yeah.
the date on that. Yeah.
So where are we?
Nothing's impossible, it's costly.
Are we back on, Rich?
We're on.
So
Be
you have to
careful.
announce it.
Yeah.
At
I'm watching you.
what time?
Oh, good question.
30.
5:36? Sounds good.
36, okay. Thank you.
Are we done with transportation for now? We could talk about that all night, I'm sure.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I think we're ready to move on. Yep.
And as far as Dan, is he back on? Well, that's Sam. Dan probably has no clue what went on. All of a sudden he was shut. Can you text him, Rich?
Were you going to reach out for?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
You got it?
thank you.
Okay.
If you want, we can probably get started,
Sure.
Emily, and we can catch Dan up.
Great. Yep, I was just pulling this up. Great. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about town services and facilities. And I have been the one to kind of do some digging and interviewing and data collection and writing up the key findings and suggested action items for this chapter. It's a really interesting cross-section of, the professionals who are seeing the day-to-day challenges and inside of like the departments and how they operate and everything versus the perception of residents in the town and who might not be aware of kind of what goes into the budgeting and everything and may have some various complaints or, criticisms. So that's why some of the comments that I included, they might not be accurate, but I think they are a good way for us to see like what people's perceptions are of how the town is operating. So I just wanted to kind of start by saying that. It is important, as a master plan committee to consider, the voices of the people who are, essentially they are the taxpayers, they are town meeting voters, so making sure their voices are included and a part of this discussion as well. So just wanted to preface that. So yeah, I don't think I need to do really an intro on the first page. I think we can kind of skip down to the key findings. I'll try to go over the key findings, kind of move through this pretty quickly, and then we can spend a little bit more time on recommendations, and I'm really curious on your thoughts about kind of some suggestions for that. A lot of this is stuff we have discussed at previous meetings. So not a lot of necessarily new information here, but I think that's fair if we can kind of go through this kind of quickly. So key finding number 1, adequate facility space is a critical challenge for municipal departments. However, investment in certain buildings is a divided topic for residents. When a small group of us went on the town tour, this was a very key theme that kind of came out of those interviews with various department heads, that seating, maybe communal meeting space, maybe it's storage for vehicles. It is a challenge almost across the board. So whether it's the town hall, the police department, in need of like a carport, the adult social center is a little squished down there. They would love to have more space to hold events and activities for more people and have more equipment available. The fire department reported need for more space, so it kind of is across the board here. So I would like to say, though, that everyone I've talked to has had a very positive attitude about the space that they're working in. Anything that I've heard isn't necessarily a complaint, but saying, okay, if we are looking to the future, this would be ideal for us to really have a successful provision of services. So I really appreciate that about all the folks that I've talked to. There was some comments from the community survey as well, and then kind of at the middle of page 3, this probably could have been its own key finding, but for whatever reason I kind of squished it into this one, is that the issue with town-owned vacant buildings. We've talked a lot about the grammar school building on Gleason Court. Unused facilities are a burden and they drain town resources. And then just highlighting that there were a number of comments from folks who took the survey on a range of opinions of how this space should be used, for repurposing it for other town departments, just tearing it down and using it for parking, turning it into a community center. So any thoughts just initially on that first key finding there?
There's talk about the old grammar school. That's very close to being sold, so I think we're going to put that to bed soon.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting.
Do you know what their plans are for it? I haven't heard.
Depends who buys it.
It has to go out, for a bid.
I think it's been
Yeah.
assessed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's been assessed. There was a property, little piece of property added to it to make it more appetizing
To make it legal.
and legal. Yeah.
What's the size of the lot around it, Ross, do you know?
I don't know offhand. It might just be a little over an acre, maybe. There's not a lot of property in it, really.
Is it all that side of the road?
Yes.
Okay.
The building was real close to almost on the property line. They just took a piece from another piece to make it kind of.
And you thought we had some additional property across the street?
We do.
Good.
Yeah.
.24 acres. That looks what is going to be the property.
The old one or the new one?
The new one that's,
'Cause that's just this town meeting, wasn't it? This past town meeting?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Town government moves slow.
You want to get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks very, very good now. I think it's going to happen.
Let's hope. Put it to use.
Keep it, it's a nice looking building.
can move on to key finding 2. All right, on page 5. Oops. All right, so as a small town with budget restrictions, Douglas is challenged with meeting its staffing needs and retaining municipal workers and volunteers. So while this isn't necessarily the case for every department, it is a theme that kind of stuck out. Whether for various reasons like competitive pay, losing workers to, the private sector that can pay higher wages, whether it's recent retirements and succession planning, getting people to serve on committees and fill vacancies, budget cuts that mean that the town has to kind of reduce a position or combine positions. So I laid out some of the challenges that I heard. Yeah, some positions are kind of doubling up and have like a lot of responsibilities on them. This was also an interesting one where, again, the comments I included were from the public. They aren't necessarily privy to the staffing of the town. What I heard more from these comments was about teacher pay and concerns about teachers leaving the district for maybe other school districts, maintaining the special education department, things like that. So that's why a lot of those comments are more focused on the schools, because I think that's what families see more kind of on a day-to-day interaction. Yeah, any comments kind of on staffing, maybe something you've seen in departments you've worked for or interacted with, or yeah, comments on volunteering. Like, what got you all to serve on this committee? Is there something that the town could be doing to get other folks to serve on committees? And
if they could be compensated.
Compensation, pizza parties?
I see you mentioned that, and about the town elections, a reliable core of volunteers compensated through the TAC work-off program. However, it doesn't mention anything about the board volunteers or the committee volunteers. We're all volunteers. Right, Carol?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't get a check every week?
Check is in the mail.
I think the selectmen are the only one, right, Ross, that get compensation. Oh, yeah.
Retirement.
Take a big vacation for that check, huh, Ross?
Yeah. It's, I don't know, it's more for, I don't know, it's I want to do something for the town.
Yeah, that's right.
Sense of
try to-
civic contribution.
You have a passion
Exactly.
to do
Get
it.
involved.
Yeah.
Get involved.
But this key finding is more for helping the staff at the municipal center or,
Correct.
okay.
We've got to do something about raising the amounts that they pay the highway workers too. You're not going to have anybody. When this group retires, we're going to be not in good shape. The young people
we
are not going to work for what they pay. What's that?
So,
Didn't we just lose a highway
it worked somewhere else.
somewhere else?
Yeah. They get a lot more money in the private sector.
Well, I know most people don't go to work for the government but for the pay, it's the benefits.
Yeah.
That makes up for the pay.
How do we compare and contrast with the surrounding towns in terms of compensation? Do we
I think
know?
recently, we just kind of bumped everything up in comparison to area towns, because we were behind. But last year and the year before, we tried to make it more appealing, because when somebody can go to the next town over and make $5 more an hour for doing the same thing, why wouldn't they go?
Right, because they get just as many benefits. Right.
Yeah, whether they travel a couple miles this way or a couple miles that way, what's the difference,
Yeah.
We are trying, I will say that.
But there are factors, it's not just about straight money. It's about how employees are treated. I can speak from experience in various towns.
Yeah.
That's a big cause of the turnover is, especially the younger people I talk to, they don't want to deal with the politics. They want to come in, they want to do their job, and they want to go home. And they don't want to, a lot of towns, and Douglas, believe me, on the scale of dysfunction is not very high on the scale of dysfunction in my experience. It's a well-run town compared to a lot of communities.
We have a lot of long-term employees.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's a very pleasant environment to come to work every day. And that starts with leadership, that starts with Matt. There are a lot of towns that aren't like that. So, you do have people who aren't going to necessarily maximize every dollar as long as they're treated well and have a good atmosphere to come to.
I think in addition to that, we have the third challenge of a lot of aging buildings. And we don't have infrastructure and the ability and the money to be able to build new buildings and bring people here to want to work here. Especially municipal center, the police department, the fire department, all of those are challenging. And how do we replace those?
And other towns around us have.
Yes.
Northbridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uxbridge, Millbury.
Sure.
And our highway department is very lacking with a structure.
Correct, yes.
But we're working on it.
That's a priority right now.
Yep.
The surrounding towns they have more business also.
Right.
Whether
Yeah.
it be small business or, like you say, something's fortunate to have a nice strip of 146 with some small, it all adds up, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be ginormous companies that move in, it all adds up, so it's kind of that hip bone's connected to the leg bone.
Right, it's difficult to do that through the building of more homes, you know?
Yep.
So,
That won't solve the problem.
right.
What's the percentage of our tax base, Bob, now that?
Commercial?
Commercial, yeah.
It was 4, now it's up to 11, with the addition of cubes.
That's a big jump for one building,
Yeah,
huh?
it is.
If the Pine project comes to fruition, it'll be in the 20s.
Nice.
It's a jump.
Are you able to give an update, Bob, on where we are with those projects?
Confidentially, no.
Okay,
They're getting hot, let's just say that.
good.
My phone just went off, and I can't answer.
Well, get up and go get it.
You know, we should time it up, let's go take care of that.
Right.
Go make the money.
I was active all weekend on the Pine project.
Great.
It's moving fast.
Wow. Excellent.
More demand for a ton.
I agree. Pizza house in the middle.
Trucks get stuck in the tunnel.
No, we make it tall enough.
That was pretty big.
I think things are looking up in terms of revenue. I know that capital was always the poor child. It's always at the end of the budget. You get salaries, you get base costs, and you have capital. I love looking at the capital plans because they'll go out year after year after
Yeah.
year, and you're like, I don't know, is it going to get funded?
Right.
You know? So maybe we're more likely to be able to fund some of those projects, including building new spaces or improving spaces.
Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight, you know,
Right.
but it sounds like we're heading in the right direction. And,
Yep.
you know, a couple of good ones would, it all helps. Every little bit helps, you know.
Where is Highway now, if you don't mind me asking, Ross? I know the land was purchased, correct?
No,
It wasn't?
no, that's not
It's
been
kind of
purchased.
taken a
Okay,
different direction.
okay. Right, okay, so it passed town meeting, but it must
We
not,
had the approval.
Yeah.
Some things didn't work out with what needs to be done up there, and it's not done.
Well, I was at Building Facilities Construction Committee meeting today, and we were told that that parcel is off the plate, so.
The one way in the back.
Yeah.
something else that's in the works possibly?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I get a bird's eye view of that
And honestly,
department.
probably, I think it'll be better and more cost effective than what's on the idea plate at the moment.
Any other thoughts or comments on this particular section?
All right, we can move on to the next one. All right, down to page 7. So this key finding, residents have noted that communication by local government could be enhanced, particularly to improve transparency and open communication. So this one I just wanted to state by saying that the town is great about, from what I've seen, achieving, open meeting law requirements, posting advance notices, recording, and posting any committee or board meetings online for public viewing, having hybrid in-person and remote options, all of that. But this one I find interesting that I do think that there is room to improve how local government kind of conveys information and engages with the public. We're really seeing kind of a shift in how people consume information. Younger generations, they really want stuff on their phone, reduced. They're not necessarily going to be out looking for, all these videos and information and everything. So just given that, I think there are ways that the town could kind of adopt more like progressive methods of connecting with residents, and this can really have a positive effect on, voter turnout, more diverse participation in committees, getting the word out about public safety or emergency responses, permitting, all that. At the student workshop, one thing that stood out was the students were saying that they feel really disengaged with, town hall and the local government. They said they wish they had more of a say in how spending is prioritized and more ways to kind of get involved. So maybe the issue there is less that there aren't ways to get involved, but they just don't know about them. So how do we kind of get the information and really connect with people of all ages, all backgrounds? Again, the town faces an issue where there isn't a local newspaper, which used to be kind of the way to get information out, a widespread reach that everyone kind of pick up and read. It's not really the way things are anymore, so thinking this is, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan, what are the changes going to be like, in that time span?
I have a comment on that. The way you learn what's going on is by watching all these meetings on YouTube. I watch them all when I'm having my coffee in the morning. And that's the only way I find out what's going on when the planning board or this committee, selectmen. And there's a calendar that you can get notifications on your phone, up and coming, about all these, I get it on my Google Calendar. Rebecca set it up for me. I didn't know how to do it.
That's the thing.
And people just don't know that.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, how can kids not know that,
But it's also, it's a time thing, too. Like, I have time to come to this meeting, I don't have time to watch the other meeting.
Well, yeah, but that's the only way you're going to learn anything, unless you read the minutes, which is boring for a
But the
kid.
thing is, the minutes aren't even published online anymore.
Maybe they
not?
should be then.
A lot of the committee's meetings are not published online. Not all minutes are online anymore.
Well, from the high school perspective,
are high schoolers still required to do like a capstone project before graduating? Does anybody know? Like, isn't there a media thing at the high school that they could, like, if the high school kids want to be more involved in civics, then they should come up with a way to do that, because in a format that they want to receive it.
Yeah.
In my mind. Yeah.
You know, one of the things on the town's website, they should give a little more directions how you can watch those YouTubes. Because it's not, most of the stuff you can go and you click on it, and okay, you're on the assessors, or you click on it. But the YouTube stuff, you got about 3 or 4 steps you got to go to get that. And frankly, if I don't go on it all the time, next time I go, I can't remember how I did it.
I just went through that with Pat. Show me.
Yeah.
Another thing is like.
Right, they need to say, do A, B, C, D, this is how you're going to get on, because the average, well, I guess the younger people all know that, but we have a great amount of people who are older too in town that might want to watch this stuff. They don't have a clue on how to get on it.
Another thing is like, I get the the Depot Street updates on my phone. I get text alerts. You have to set them up. It's not easy to get to the place to set up those text alerts. I've walked more than one person through getting to that. Actually, I think I was talking with you, Rich, at one of our museum meetings about the text alerts. They're not easy to get to set them up. Once you get them, they're great. You get the alerts right on your phone. You're not searching for them. But getting to that, to set them up is not easy.
So maybe we need a thing to say A, B, C, D, how to do that.
We've got the resources, but they're not user-friendly to get to them. They're not user-friendly to set them up. They're not user-friendly to access. Once they're there, they're set up, they're great, but it's getting there.
I know the cable director just redid his website for these YouTubes.
Oh, really?
It's a lot simpler. It's categorized into all the committees.
Okay, we'll have to look.
And then there's just 1,000 lists long of every video out there from date, from present to years ago. So you can get to a video, 2 different directions go to that. Our master plan committee, and they're all chronologically listed. Selectmen meeting. I think in addition to Meg's comment on the civics for the high school, I think they should be, if they're in a civics course, they should be made to attend a selectmen meeting once a year as part of that course. Attend this meeting, attend a planning board meeting.
Or, meeting of their choice.
See what's going on.
Desire maybe, their interest. Maybe that'll spike.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that's on the curriculum anymore. They've got a government course, but I believe it's an AP government course, so then you're stuck to a preset curriculum.
Yep.
Yeah, it's tough. It has to be in cooperation with the school, and the school has to be motivated to do it. Years ago, they toyed with a local government curricula and a town meeting fair, which was a lot of fun. So there was a week where they would have all the town officials come in and visit the students. It was mostly juniors and seniors. Everybody, all the officials, the selectmen would come and chat with them. And there would be curriculum to go with that in the classroom, and then it would end with the town government fair. So every committee, commission, and board would set up in the gym. And the kids would come down, would have all sorts of stuff so they could have some fun, but they would be a scavenger hunt too, so they would have to go to each booth. And they developed some interest at that time, but it's usually personality driven. And if someone isn't driving it either from the town side or the school side, it just it doesn't happen. But, they have some state, as far as civics, they have federal government, state government, but not local. And local, really, we know, is the level of government that probably affects you most, and they know the least about. I think there are things that can be done to help that.
I try to get people to go to town meetings because they could be very interesting, although the new moderator, well, he's not that new now, the way he does it, where he takes everything together people don't ask like questions in between, so the meetings aren't as much fun as they used to be. And I really thought they were fun. I liked listening to everybody, what they had to say, and back and forth and stuff like that. I thought they were quite entertaining. What's that?
To an extent.
The town meetings were messier, and they were wonderful.
Yes, I thought they were. I thought they were great.
I agree.
Until 11 o'clock, and then they had the,
But you know what? So it's once a year, maybe twice a year, for the fall meeting. And it's, you know, it's, I mean, you want to have democracy.
Yes.
That is as grassroots as you can get. You know, and I try to get people to go, and then I go, and sometimes they're like, yep, nope, and there's nothing, and it was a waste. They didn't even feel like, why did they bother even coming?
People should be able to speak, and you should be able to
Right.
willing to listen to people speak. Yeah.
I think that we need to maybe bring it back to where there is more speaking going on.
But the last annual was done in, I think, 30 minutes.
Exactly.
I worked for a
Yeah.
town where I had to go to the town meeting, it was over 6 days.
Right.
6 days.
Yeah, this last one was quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a land speed record.
But you know what? You think that people are going to come again? Eh, why should I leave my happy home to go to that, you know? Where it was something, that was pretty interesting. I like what he had to say. I didn't like what he had to say, but you know.
And town meeting originated in New England, as you
Exactly.
started here.
Yep.
I think the reason why it goes so quickly is because we have some good volunteers on those boards, like Finance Committee and the Capital Committee, and it's all out in the public, and...
But I think the fact that he bunches it
And we
together too
trust
much.
that these are correct numbers, you know, when we're voting at annual.
But isn't even the correct numbers. Most of the people have no idea what they're even voting on.
I think generally the moderator does a good job.
Oh, he
But I
does
think
do
you're
a
right,
good
it's
job.
almost too efficient, and I miss the days when every warrant article was spoken to by someone from that department.
Yeah.
So they could give an introduction and an overview,
Right,
and
exactly.
I kind of miss that part of it.
Yep, and we should go back to that.
Yeah,
I think we could get a lot more people coming to the meetings
yes.
if they were interesting. You know, you think they're going to come because they're short? No, they're going to come because they're interesting.
They want to hear you speak.
Yeah.
I sometimes have a few things to say.
You do.
We look forward to it.
We do, we do.
I got one last comment. The high school students commented that they feel disconnected from the decisions being made at town hall. I take exception to that, because John and I are the only two in this room that spend a lot of time in this town hall. How many students have you seen walk through here?
None.
0. So I don't think that's an accurate statement, because if they want to feel connected, they should be here.
Exactly.
And my email, our contact information is on the town website.
Yeah.
My email address, my phone number, everything's right there.
Well, behavior is a language, and if their behavior is that they're not coming here and they feel disconnected, how do you cross that? You go to them.
That's a you problem, not a me problem.
It's apparently an us problem.
Yeah.
Like, how do you solve that?
And they don't have a say in how spending is prioritized.
Can't vote yet either.
Have they been at a town meeting? How many students at a town meeting? 0.
Well, you know what, I think you have to have a special place for them, though, because they can't be voters, because they've got to be 18. And most kids are, you know, I was 17.
Well,
when I
they
got
don't
out of
get
high
the
school.
voting card when you walk in, but they can still sit in the residence spaces in the middle. If you're out of town, you go off to the side.
Right. Well, I think it's not so much, if you're a non-voter, you have to be off to the side.
Only if you're non-resident.
You just won't
Non-resident.
Non-resident.
Not voter.
Okay.
you just won't have a flag with the orange stick.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it matters, but I'm gonna volunteer at the library. She's gonna be a senior. She's really upset right now, and she's like, I'm not gonna bother saying anything because our voices aren't gonna be heard. School committee just made it so that they don't have school ranking. They're not gonna have class ranking. When they graduate, they're not gonna know what their ranking is.
Really?
They're,
Why?
That's ridiculous.
because it
Everybody needs a
It
trophy.
breeds unhealthy competition, is what she told me. She's very,
Because that's what she's been told.
that's what they were told. She's very upset about it. She's like, I busted my butt for 4 years. I want to know what my ranking is.
And she's correct.
Yeah.
And she
Exactly.
is correct.
And
her friends are not happy either.
Competition is healthy.
So it's not coming from the kids, it's coming from the adults. The kids are not happy about it. They also took away their science classes and kept their culinary classes. Then the kids aren't happy about that either. They're feeling like, yeah.
Well, they need to get the parents involved in this thing and go to school committee meetings.
I'm just letting you know, like, coming from a 17-year-old, she's like, so at this point, she's like, I just can't wait to be done. Like, I'm done. Our voices don't matter. They're just going to do what they want to do anyway. I'm just telling you what I heard from her.
I feel for her. I agree with her 100%.
When she told me, I was so upset for her because she was really upset. I'm like, that's not fair. So it's just one of those things like these. We're saying that they're not participating. They're not this. They're feeling like they don't matter because the higher ups are gonna do what they're gonna do anyway.
And this is not new. 17 years ago when I was coaching my son's youth basketball team in Taunton, we were told we weren't allowed to keep score. Yeah, I have the kids coming up to me asking how we did. So my daughter, who's 2 years older, I'd have her sitting on the sidelines with a notebook keeping score. So I'd sneak over and say, Carissa, what's the score? And then by the end of the season, I was able to tell the kids, you realize you won every single game. They were so proud. They want to know.
They do. So yeah, the only two rankings that are going to be known are the valedictorian and the
Salvatore.
Thank you.
The data is there. Who's pushing this? The school committee?
That
Are they
was
getting?
voted on by the school committee.
So I wonder if there's opportunities to hold positions for student representatives on student committee, or school committee, other boards where we're actively putting a position, a voice for younger generations where they do feel included in the decision making.
But I feel like if you're going to do that, then you've got to make sure that they have a legitimate vote. It can't just be a figurehead. If we're going to put them in that, they've got to actually have a say. It can't just be
lip service. Yeah.
And then they're ignored.
Yeah.
Have they approached the superintendent, voiced their opinion? How many people are, you go to school committee with 100 kids, they're going to make some noise.
I'm just sharing what was shared with me. And I'm like, you know what, I have a meeting tomorrow. I'm bringing this up.
I also have a meeting with the superintendent tomorrow morning, so if we have anything we'd like to relay in that conversation.
Like Carol, competition is healthy.
That's what runs the world.
And that's what makes you want to do your best.
Exactly.
That's what this country is based on.
And the kids who don't care about it aren't going to care with or without the rankings.
Correct. Right.
It does come back to, though, what was said earlier, people don't want to get involved in town politics. Those members on that committee are elected every year. It's the power of the vote. And the idea is the town is voting these people in to do this. The only way you do it is you vote them out, you put in other people. So, and I mean, it's coming back to that same aspect, but nobody wants to dedicate all that time to be in all the meetings and take all the time and the nights and everything else, and that's that hard part and that balance. It's difficult,
On that ranking, is that though it's something that's published, or is it something that each kid can get the ranking on their own? Because I could feel bad for some poor kid that really tries hard and can't do it, and he's the last, the bottom of the barrel.
I believe it's just on their report cards at the end of the year.
Yeah, but you can't apply for scholarships if you can't say I'm in the top 10%.
Don't colleges want that?
Or 25. Like, come on.
I'm just reiterating what she told me, so I can't say for 100% that this is accurate. Supposedly, colleges don't care about the rankings anymore.
They probably don't.
They wanted the money.
Unless you're dealing with a super competitive college, at which point I'm sure they could contact the school guidance counselor and be like, because I'm sure that the school still has the ranking. They're just not letting the kids know what they are. And I'm almost 100% they're not published rankings, it is on your report card.
I never saw it on my report card.
No, I never saw.
Because mine would have been down the bottom.
I got mine quarterly. I didn't want my parents to see that.
Yeah, I'm sure we have some great stories there.
I'll just say D's get degrees.
All right.
I like that.
These get the grade. That's
The
true.
people that were the most successful that I graduated with were the ones that dropped out.
Yep. Yeah, and my graduating class from Mount St. Charles, the most successful people were not the ones who finished in the top 10.
Right.
They were kids who finished lower down because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
So you're going to bring this up to the superintendent tomorrow morning?
Maybe in a kind way, yes. I have a few questions, yes.
Maybe Nick.
Would you like Ross and I with you?
If you want to. Don't care.
What time are you meeting with Paul?
I've got a call at 9:30, a Zoom with him.
Yeah, maybe we should all show up.
Zoom.
Photo bomb.
Maybe we can hack it, Bob.
Yeah. Get Sarah involved.
Yeah. Put another logo up there.
Won't be GMC.
I don't want to go too far afield here, but Michael talked about voters and voter participation. I'd love to see an increase in that. I think the average local election is maybe 5%
Dismal.
of registered voters, if that.
Dismal.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're lucky to see
vote.
500 people out of almost 10,000. Well, I don't think 10,000.
About 7,000 registered voters.
7,000 registered voters.
Contests.
I'm sorry?
Sometimes there's no contests.
Yeah.
Well, from what I heard, right before I came here in Rutland, they had a 10%. They had 700 people come out, 300 people more than Douglas, so about the same amount of registered voters. And they basically said, if there's no override on the ballot, then people don't really care.
Right.
And that's, how do you fight apathy? It's a tough question. How do you fight apathy?
Put an override on there.
Then you get to the town meeting, oh, sorry, we decided to take it off.
Yeah.
We're not doing it anymore.
Well, it's going to be voted down anyways. Get them here just to vote on the elections.
Right. Maybe we can offer pizza.
Go along with the tunnel.
The tunnel project.
Well, let's take a poll. How many people here voted in the last town election?
I don't remember.
I wasn't here.
Just put your hand up.
I don't remember if I did.
And I'm not surprised.
Wow.
This is about 30% of the turnout.
Pretty good.
This is a good volunteer cross-section, but it's not the cross-section of out there.
The thing is, too, it's never published anywhere. There's no sign
There you
that
go.
says vote today.
100%.
I've looked everywhere, because I knew it was coming up, and I was all over the town website,
Right.
nothing.
Nothing in front of the fire
I
station?
think
No.
you had
Well-
mentioned even the blinking signs too, the board in front of the
Yep.
fire station.
If I may
Well, you
say,
gotta- you
a lot of
gotta
your
ride
communities,
Right.
every day, and if I'm 7
Yep.
days away.
You know what, I did
You know?
vote, but it took me a while to find out when it was. That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so this year, the town election, 204 voted, 75 attended the town meeting.
Wow.
so I will say this, I know through a lot of your communities like Oxford and other towns, the portable road signs, they're on every major road in that town, weeks ahead of time, letting people know. You come to Douglas, it's crickets, you don't see nothing
We
at
have,
all.
we have
And that's-
portable signs.
And that's the problem, 100%. Why isn't there stinking signs out on all your major entrance roads? We're worried about traffic. Let people know when there's an election.
Yeah.
But everybody, it's like,
I came to
it
the
wants to be
town
kept a
hall
big
and
secret.
asked the clerk.
You know what I mean?
Finally, yeah.
Well,
Just put it out there, it's a stinking sign.
we don't have the signs, but we can rent them. Oktoberfest has signs in Webster saying no trucks through Douglas.
We have more signs for Oktoberfest than we do for our own town elections. And it's crazy. Where's the priorities then? It just goes to show you where the priorities are.
Who pays for the Oktoberfest signs? Is it
October, the committee.
The committee does.
Yeah, the Oktoberfest committee.
Well,
That's-
you made the comment about people voting in the school committee. People aren't voting in the school committee. People just aren't voting for the school committee, so they're getting in.
But it's all on the same principle.
Yeah,
It's-
but the lack of voting
Right.
is what's getting these people on the school committee.
So it's kind of don't know, it's scary to think that you're more worried about an Oktoberfest than you are running your own town. And that's what's really happening here. It's a shame. You go to all these towns, I don't care where you go, Sutton, Mildred, they all have signs everywhere.
Selectmen start addressing this, because it is a selectman function about.
Well, can't you put, like, I know a lot of small towns have the signs that as you drive through the center of town, it's like overhead, and then they announce when the elections are, and I think those are very effective also, in
But
addition.
you can't put them on telephone poles. Can't do it.
Nope.
No.
Can't put them on poles
Nope.
unless you get a $5 million insurance policy and sign off from Verizon.
What if we put up our own poles?
Pardon?
What if we put up our own poles?
That's what Northbridge did.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. They're separate poles.
Yeah, the banners, the banners.
Yeah.
Banners,
But you
yep.
got the one right near the Chinese restaurant that they put the Oktoberfest sign on.
But that's not across the street.
No, but I mean, but it's still there, and you clearly see it when you're driving through the center of town, like, you don't miss it. And I'm sure you could probably figure out something similar to that, even if you don't go across the street. I'm sure there's a couple of blank spots in town that you could do something similar.
You'd have to get permission from the owners.
Yeah.
Well, we've got enough town property that it could be done in areas.
Well, it's a program, sponsor a sandwich board. Come one, come all.
Well, what if the town installed a permanent sign?
There's one at the fire station.
Well, we do have one at
Video
the fire
is the
station.
program,
too.
Yeah.
We
And we
have,
get the most traffic, John.
I agree with you. The school, when you drive through Oxford in the morning,
Yeah.
in front of the town hall, they have a sign with all the announcements when licensing, when voting is going on, town meetings. The high school has one. It tells you everything that's going on. What, I mean, what,
Northbridge does too, right at the lights, because every time I pick up.
you see it all there, right? I mean-
Every day.
I'm gonna say during school, which is happening, what, next week now?
Yeah.
Traffic will come to a
Right.
crawl.
Yeah.
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 Well,
And I understand
that
it's-
sign, why can't we get a sign like that?
Who's got a sign?
Indian Ring. Samuel Slater's got advertising right there with their hours.
Yeah. I bet you that's an expensive sign, though.
yeah.
I put it on my finance committee hat now. You're not getting that.
But listen, I mean,
What if we have concerts to offset the cost?
There you go.
Concerts on the
you say that.
on the tunnel and tolls. Like you.
Pizza for the
The hot part with that
As
is,
long as we still get the pizza party though. Don't forget the pizza party.
Pizza for the park.
everybody says one thing, and there's a way to fix it, but then it becomes an issue. So if that's the case, then make the subject mute. It's either there's an issue, you need to fix it, or there is an issue and you leave it alone. And I think it's an issue. There's never signage for.
So if we come up with a key finding tonight on government services, that we need to engage the population more, maybe that's a recommendation, is that, we
Buy
look
some,
into,
buy more
yeah,
signage.
like
Yeah.
signage.
Or
yeah.
outreach, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great.
Signage downtown here,
Pretty tactile.
Well,
not up
it's
heading
a deal
towards
with-
Webster.
You built a new highway bond, right? It's going to be on Route 16?
Yeah.
Why isn't there an illuminated sign being put out in front of it? I mean, you're already building the building. Run the power out there, put the sign up.
Well, we do have the one at the fire station, so that's going to be the same, pretty much the same,
It doesn't,
more than likely.
the idea is also you have two. Well, I mean, the idea is you're already in the process of building the building.
Right.
It costs pennies now, it costs thousands later.
It might not go
You got to
there.
think ahead in this stuff.
The problem with the fire station sign is you're more concerned about traffic pulling out of the family field
That's true.
or the dump area and causing a rear-end
Yeah, yeah.
accident than you're reading that sign.
Yeah.
They don't have a problem at the high school or the town hall or everything running Route 12.
How about those little step signs? They could just keep changing the date.
Sandwich board, you mean?
No, no.
No, no.
The ones, the
The
guys,
variable message.
no, the ones the guys put them when they're doing the job. Little, they go on a little,
Utility work ahead or whatever.
yeah, no.
Like a campaign sign looking?
Yeah, like the campsite.
Beyond sign,
When they say, vote for me, those type of signs, and you just pick them up.
Oh, you
at
mean
the
like
end.
vote today
Yeah,
or
and it's not
something?
that hard to put another sticker over it for another date. You just keep using them every year. So your initial investment's there, but as long as somebody picks them up, just throw another sticker on it for the date.
What is it about local, I'm sorry, Carolyn.
Go ahead.
What is it about local civic participation, specifically voting, that people just aren't coming anyway. I don't need a sign. I know when people, when the vote, it's the second Tuesday, is it, of May, always?
That's for the town meeting.
Okay.
But the election of, like, selectmen or anything is like a week
That's why I can never
later.
vote, it's the wrong night.
Yeah, I had trouble finding it, I remember
Well, it
that.
used to be, that you'd elect like selectmen before town meeting, but then you get the town meeting, and the new selectmen didn't know what they were voting on.
I mean, even if
That's
we
why
get-
it changed.
Even if we get the word out, what percent, I don't want to be cynical, even if you get the word out, what percentage are going to come? I don't understand people's non-interest in participating in local voting.
That should have been one of the
I think you gotta,
questions on the
like,
survey.
A part of it is like you just need to, like, not everybody can watch the YouTube videos to really understand the context. Like these days, it's like bite-sized information is kind of the name of the game.
But
So like getting them to understand where they can access information quickly, to learn about like who the new select board people are that they could be voting for and stuff like that. That needs to be promoted.
But at some point, you got to go beyond bite-sized information because these topics are more complicated. They can't.
Right.
They can't
But this is to
summarize-
get people like
They can't
initially
summarize
interested, you know?
You can't do it on Facebook. Go ahead and move forward.
Well, that's the thing. Social media is very dangerous because a lot of misinformation. If I had a nickel for every time I've come into the office and something's going on, whether it's the planning board or something, and somebody on the Friends of whatever town it was went crazy on the weekend and ran with something that wasn't remotely accurate, and now I have to deal with it. And I always tell people, if it's something with the planning board, call me. And they won't. They won't. They won't call. You can put it out there, but again, to Rich's point, I don't get it. You give them the avenues and they don't use it. They'd rather go on and just be toxic for some reason than actually finding out the facts and talking to the people.
So how would you summarize the key finding on this?
I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to come up with some good action items for this one.
Yeah, let's think about it.
Yeah.
But I agree with Mike. We need signage.
I like that.
Really good place to
Yeah.
Start to start.
The dump's a great place.
Oh, yeah.
Half of the
Business
town
over
is
there.
there once a week minimum.
Yep.
And to think outside the box,
Good place
I mean,
campaign.
take a drive down Route 12, people. Just take a look at the information they have on the side. I don't even live in Oxford. I know more of what's going on in Oxford than I do in my own town I live in. I mean, it's crazy, but it's the truth.
But if, like I
It's
say,
the God's
get
honest
out in
truth.
front of people, they're going to just instinctively read the sign.
Well, and none of that in today's world, everybody's working one job, two jobs, whatever. Everything's in your head. Oh shit, there's a sign outside. It's voting today, so you go and you vote. But it's just a reminder.
I mean, what was the size of the last budget? I lost track, do you know?
32 million?
Just under 33.
And how many, 33, just under $33 million. How many people approved it?
Yeah, right.
75?
75 attended the meeting. That doesn't say that's how many people actually
The majority of
Voted.
75, 40 people.
Yeah. I had one gentleman from another town tell me he loves that because there's fewer people, so he has more influence. And I just thought that turned everything on its head for me.
and makes it that much scarier.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're back to the old,
that's pretty cynical.
you have to start pulling people out of goodness stores.
70%.
Well, they're not open
Every other
on Mondays anymore.
department has to fight over the crumbs.
Over the other 30, yeah. It's always been like that.
The other thing is they always put the school budget, the school stuff at the beginning, and I've witnessed it in multiple towns, and there's a certain percentage after the school stuff is done, they get up and they leave. How do you get people to stay? Put the school stuff at the end. Make them sit through the zoning that I work on for a year and a half or 2 years, and that I need 2/3 vote for.
Why
And
is
these
so?
people leave, and they don't even think, okay, we don't have a quorum now. We might not have a quorum. So,
And zoning's always last.
tell me about it.
Always last. You're going to
Framingham.
write out the whole thing.
Framingham went here 17 nights.
Yeah.
17 nights.
Tell me that. You know all that.
Yeah, they don't show up to the public hearings. Then all of a sudden they show up at town. What? When was this? We had public hearings on this. We had this. We had this. And so yeah, there are things that can be done, but I don't know will be done. You know, put the school stuff at the end and make residents sit through the rest of the things to make them see what goes on with Board of Health, with conservation, with planning and zoning, and these other things.
What do you think of that, Ross, about changing that up instead of having the whole budget, Article 1 and 2, and then put all the zoning stuff in the beginning?
Well, I think it's, yeah, why would you
I mean,
put
it's
the
like,
budget?
why not?
Yeah.
Keep the people in
You
their
gotta keep
seats.
them there, and that's, you gotta get them there, and you gotta keep them there.
I mean, there's no reason why the budget has to be first.
No.
It's not a law.
Responsible for itemizing that is
I
that
think it's
selectman
the
or is
moderator,
it
isn't it?
a finance director? Because I think the finance director runs
All we kind of do
that.
is just kind of approve, so it's organized by the finance director.
The other thing is, some towns have representative town meeting, where they have precincts, and you elect people from each precinct to represent them at town meeting. As an official who communicates, like in Stoughton, when I spent 2.5 years on a downtown rezoning, it was great, because I knew I'd have a quorum, and I knew who to reach out to and who to send updates to, because I knew who would be voting. That made it easier for me, because I knew we'd have a quorum automatically, and you know you have people who are going to be there throughout the whole meeting. That's another option.
So it's representative, they're elected.
Yep.
Yeah.
Town I worked in had that too, that's why it was 6 nights. Everybody feels like they got to get up and talk,
Right.
but it was good. They covered a lot of ground, and you learned a lot, like it or not.
But someone else is voting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I mean, we're still small enough that we can have our town meetings.
Yeah.
But you could still go and you can comment.
Yes.
I don't like that. Well, this is New England. We're still small enough. We can have it. This is the best.
Well, the flip side of that is if you got a big issue
Yeah.
and everybody wants to come, then you're in trouble because 7,000 people could show up.
Good, good. Let them all have their say.
That won't be happening.
That's a thing.
We can hope.
I've seen that where they had separate
It
rooms.
would be a
and
30-minute town meeting.
Let fur fly.
We could only hope, right, that we get that much participation.
Well, when they did the high school, that we had separate rooms.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So where are we, Emily?
If we want to keep moving forward,
Key 4.
Maybe a key finding is we need to identify and implement best practice for municipal engagement in a small town.
Sounds good.
that's great.
That's pretty succinct.
Print it.
Yeah.
Writing.
For real.
Bob's the only one that stayed on subject.
He was just letting all the notes.
Yeah, what's up with that, Bob?
Oh my God. That's great. Yeah, the next one, a little less divisive. The Simon Fairfield Public Library is in need of accessibility upgrades. Oh, I moved on. I am on page 8. I know, I feel like you could talk to this much better than I can. No wheelchair access, wheelchair ramp access to the building, no elevator, tight turns in the book stacks, so even if you were able to get inside as a wheelchair user, it would be very difficult to navigate. Let's see. Well, and I guess, yeah. So while some community members feel the facility is outdated and needs entire renovation, others might prefer to see more of a modest approach to improving basic accessibility issues. When we spoke with the library director, he told us about when they went to the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners, their solution was to triple the size of the building at a cost of $13 to $15 million. So unfortunately, that really does not seem like a solution for the near future. And unfortunately, if I don't quite understand the dynamics of the commissioners, but yeah, if you don't move forward with their proposal, you
So what
can't
it
get
is,
funding.
it's a grant, and they want you to do the grant for 15 to 25 years in the future, based on what they think the town growth is going to be.
Okay.
So they had us, I believe, 18,000 people. So they wanted our building to be made for that size, with X amount of community rooms, X amount of this, X amount of that. And in order to meet their size, that's how much the building would have been and how big it would have had to be. Would not have fit on our current lot, would not have done anything. That is the only way you could have gotten a grant through the MBLC to go forward with that. It was not feasible for us. Especially.
I don't think any of the data we found suggested Douglas would grow to have 15,000 people.
Oh, their paperwork was interesting.
Okay.
They didn't take out enough math books.
It was interesting. Yeah, we were all kind of looking at it and we're like, no, we're not seeing this, but that's how their formulas worked. And like I said, they just wanted us to go to extreme. We also ran into the problem where the building was donated by Fairfield in honor of his parents as a library. The deed is extremely complicated. Should we no longer have it as a library, it does not revert to the town, it reverts back to the family. Then you run into the fun of finding
125 years of heirs.
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow.
It becomes a whole can of worms, that type of stuff. It just did not make sense to move forward with this. And at this point, the director's point of view kind of is more like, what do we just need to do to make it accessible, ADA accessible?
Right.
I think that'd be a great brewery. Big copper kettles in the front windows. That place would be dynamic, Douglas.
Tunnel running underneath.
Tunnel running underneath.
And honestly, like a lot of people, when we did the surveys, they loved the look of the building and they loved to see like the outside and the front stay the same and just do whatever needed to be done to make it accessible off the back.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building.
It is.
Do we have any recent estimates to make it ADA compliant?
Justin probably does.
Good.
I don't off the top of my head. Justin probably does, and if you want, I can get that for you.
Ballpark, anything? Millions?
Yeah, I want to say we were millions. I
Okay.
think last might have been 4. I know that had the override not passed and we had closed, we never would have been able to afford to reopen. Because it wouldn't have just been getting up to ADA compliance, it would have been everything in the building, and never could afford to do that.
Yeah, the restroom also has to be
Yep.
made
Elevator,
compliant.
restroom, access,
Yep.
egress.
Never mind the electrical, the plumbing, the heating was done in 2018, 2019 when the mini splits were put in. Yep, the heat pumps were in, those are nice, but even those were put in with the wrong type of tubing, which at the time they didn't realize, so you still got tubing issues where there's got the deteriorating tubing in them. So I mean, even still, the updated stuff has.
Is Gleason Court big enough for you?
It's not owned by Fairfield.
We looked at that even for town offices and the cost of,
Renovating?
it's cheaper to start from scratch.
I think it was one of the locations, they looked at, because they had to do 3 alternate sites, and I think Gleason Court and Center School were both looked at. So that's a little bit more than what.
Yeah,
Emily
that gives me
had.
more context, yeah.
Emily, I know Sam and I had a conversation about the funding for ADA.
Yeah, I think we're still, CMRPC, we definitely still have that kind of on our kind of periphery, looking out for any opportunities that are out there. We had talked about one source, but it just didn't quite fit in with kind of what the grant was looking for. But yeah, I think.
And then another grant that we had planned to go after just got cut. The program was cut, so we can't use that one anymore.
Yep. So we're still keeping you all in mind when we're looking at grants, seeing what's out there. All right, let's keep
I
going.
always say we make do with what we got.
Yeah. Key finding 5 on page 9. This one has to do with the schools. Declining student enrollment plus competition with regional vocational and agricultural schools threaten town finances and school performance. So like we've talked about, education and schools really eat up the greatest portion of the town's budget. I have a few stats there about kind of where new dollars have gone since the passage of the override in 2019. A lot of it has gone to education. Let's see. I was doing some research too and found an interesting report from 2022 from the Commission on the Fiscal Health of Rural School Districts, and it found that school districts that have fewer than 1,300 students, which Douglas has fallen into that since 2018, cost 16.7% more to operate than the state average. I'm going to do a little more digging into that report, but I found that really interesting. Also, when students are electing to attend BVT or other vocational schools, I was talking to the town administrator, and he told me that it costs about twice as much as it would to educate students just in the Douglas public school system. So just from a strictly financial perspective, losing students to these other schools is disadvantageous for the town budget.
So Emily, how come we don't try to compete with BVT? Even do a work study where it's 1 day or 2 days a week. I mean,
yeah.
The BVT students, I'm sorry, with the practical experience they get on the work study are so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, it used to be a vocational school. It's now the high school.
Yeah, well, now, so these students,
It's a college-level admissions.
Well, it's not only that, it's the work experience they get. Every other week, they go work for a local company, and they get good practical experience. So when they get into the real world, at least they have way ahead of the curve. And I don't, I would think, the Douglas High School, why not? Even if it's 1 day a week.
They do offer a work study program.
I think you mentioned that once, but it was an hour or two a day or something.
It's just a couple periods up there.
Yeah.
It's usually a double study, so.
But that's not...
I've been involved for over 20 years since we opened, and every year I get students.
But just for a couple hours a day.
For a couple hours a day.
But wouldn't it make more sense if you got them for the whole, even if it was 1 day a week?
Yes, it would. It would. Or if you even had them, if it was, 2 hours at the end of the day or 2 hours at the beginning of the day, it would be better than, because their schedules rotate also. So that entails scheduling on my part of it too.
Right.
So
right.
They start school at 7:10 or whatever it is, so where I normally open at 8. I'm usually there. So if the kids have a study period first thing in the morning, they think they don't have to go to work study type of thing, But so it's tough to schedule with their schedule.
Well, no, but maybe they should be more accommodating to the businesses, because this is great education for them. And if we keep losing to BVT, you'd think you'd want to compete with BVT and offer something similar.
Yeah.
That would be advantageous to the students.
10 years ago we did. What happened?
So what I'm getting, it's easy for me to accommodate students because I'm on site. But if it's an electrician or a plumber, like you're saying, how can they, if they're in a van and they got a kid for 2 hours out of the day, there's no way they can do it.
Yeah,
It's impossible.
It's not good for the student either, they need that, continuous period where, you're getting something accomplished.
Yeah.
This is a school problem that needs to be addressed.
That was great.
What's that?
This is a school problem that needs to be addressed.
Isn't Emily meeting with the superintendent?
Yeah, I sure am, and I'm going to talk about this. Yep, it's on my list of questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the requirement for Douglas to fund education at twice the cost of going to our high school?
Yeah, that's also something I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
How the vocational system is funded,
Yeah.
right? You get an assessment
Right.
to each of the communities based on the number of students, just divided by the cost. And obviously, a school with that kind of labs and equipment and support and materials costs a lot more.
This year,
Yeah.
$2 million for Valley Tech.
That was our assessment for how many kids did we send there?
500,000, I think, 500,000 quarterly for, I forget how many kids. I don't know.
A few dozen, like 50 or something?
Oh,
or-
not that many.
No.
Nowhere near that many.
I mean,
No more than 30.
no
Oh,
more
less than that even,
Yeah.
I think. I think it
Like
was
30,
around 16,
7,500,
27.
8,000 a
Yeah,
student,
it wasn't, yeah,
Plus transportation.
plus transportation.
9,000.
Over $1 million bucks
And
in
then-
buses.
The ones that go to Norfolk Aggie, whew, then they got transportation, you can send your kid to
And
Harvard
there's
for
even,
that.
there's less that go there, but the cost
Yeah.
per student
Is out there.
the dollar amount will make your eyes go back in your head.
And I think if there's, I forget if there's like 15 towns, and if 9 of them vote this budget, we all have to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we don't, we can say no, but if the rest of them vote it, that's what it is, and that's what we have to pay.
Wow, didn't realize that.
So where do we start on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great suggestion to kind of offer more work study programs, something like that. The principal had also suggested revisiting the negotiation and the agreement between BBT and the local public schools. So apparently that hasn't been updated since the 1960s. So he was really keen on just kind of roundtable, you know, seeing if is this still an agreement that works for everyone.
And didn't the agreement limit what the high school could do in terms of in-house vocational training? He said they wanted to do more. They wanted to do more, but the high school was limited as to what they can do because of...
They were handcuffed.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
That makes sense, though.
What is the capacity of the high school?
So they were protecting the turf.
How many students can,
We got plenty of room, because we're down like
We're down a
600
third.
students.
right?
In the
So could that space be repurposed in a different way?
possibly.
Sure.
Since it was so recently built, at least it's up to general code requirements.
Regionalization is a tough topic, but that's also an option, you know, if really the numbers are going
I know
down.
Rutland's not too thrilled
I know.
with being a regional school district because, to your point,
Yeah.
you get in a regional school district of 3 towns, like Rentham, King Philip. You have Norfolk, you have Rentham, and you have Plainville. And Rentham is the least affluent out of the 3. And if the other 2 towns vote for the budget, Rentham has no say.
Right.
They have to vote it. So I don't know if regionalization is the solution that everyone wants, because I know Rutland, if they want to get out of the Wachusett regional schools, they need all the other towns to agree, which I don't know. I don't understand that.
Douglas and Sutton actually tried to regionalize in 1969.
Right. And didn't go through.
There were there was for and the against. Schuster was against. That is why Douglas is not regionalized.
68.
The other thing is like, I mean,
Since then.
you could regionalize with a community that's around your same economic level so that you're not like risking like severely hurting their financial status.
But I mean, just on that, Douglas and Sutton probably in 68 were around the same.
Yeah.
And not now.
And you look at them now, and it's different. So what is
And the other thing,
today may not be the same.
Blackstone, Millville, you have 2 towns, but very different populations.
Right.
Blackstone has over 9,000, Millville has 3,000, so Blackstone carries the weight of that because of their population.
So things, what it is today may not be what it is 40 years
Right.
down the line.
When we tried to regionalize 50-some years ago, Douglas was the affluent community, and Sutton was the farmers. And that's changed. It's definitely the affluent one.
74
Yeah.
with a class of 13.
Yep.
In what town?
That was,
Wow.
I was 73, I remember that class. Very, yeah.
Seeing we'll be discussing this next meeting, revamping this, can we have someone from the schools here, like Paul or his business manager, somebody who has authority answer these questions.
I'm fine with it.
I'd have a joint meeting with them, too. School committee. We're
Maybe hold
planning
a
the
special
future.
meeting.
We're looking forward 20 years.
Right,
We should have
right.
someone there so they don't chew up 75% of our budget every year.
In the archive, I have something from 68, or when BBT, when they first proposed BBT. And I actually just had it digitized by one of my volunteers. I'll see if I can get that to everybody, so everybody can see what the original proposal for BBT was in 1968, 69. I think it's very interesting to see what it was originally proposed as.
You're not going to email it out, are you? Because I think you can email it to Rich, and then he can send it out. Because other than that, it's a quorum.
With the,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to violate the open meeting.
right, open meeting.
I was going to actually send it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I was going to forward it to you, because that, I know.
And then I can disseminate it.
Yeah. But like I said, it's interesting because, like I said, it kind of shows, it's a pamphlet that all the schools are saying, this is what our plan was.
Okay, where are we?
Great. Oh, I guess.
Down.
Okay, that wrapped up the kind of key findings. I won't go over the data really, but I just wanted to include some charts and graphs in there to give you a sense of what would be included in the chapter. I also provided a list of additional data that and maps that we're going to be including. Let's see. Oh yeah, on page 11, you can see I got the student enrollment numbers, so you can see it peaked around, was it like 2008 or so, and then just since then it's gone down.
Wow,
consistently.
Wow.
And it's not just Douglas.
From two.
Oh no, yeah, this is pretty across the board.
You can't say something's going wrong here, but it's not just Douglas.
I think when you say through Carroll,
Yeah.
that's showing that people aren't having.
Kids, yeah, there just aren't
Can't
kids.
afford to have,
Yeah.
for one thing.
Yeah, or people who do have kids, maybe they can't afford to live here. That's another factor. It's a lot of things at play.
Or they're school choicing out.
Say it's everywhere.
The housing prices are everywhere.
Well, you get those houses down at South Douglas that are all selling for $1 million now, and I asked the builder, how many children these people have? They don't have any kids. Well, first off, by the time they get afford those $1 million houses, if they had kids, they're gone. They're out of schools.
I mean, in Woonsocket, where the housing prices are naturally lower, I'm amazed at what's going for $500,000 even in Woonsocket. So
Exactly.
it's not a Douglas thing.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
market.
everywhere.
$1 million is cheap.
Okay, we only have a few minutes left. Those stupid Zoom bombers. Okay, down to page 14 is kind of where, and you are very welcome to veto any of these. These are kind of things that I put together based on, action items that I put together based on conversations and things I've seen kind of in other towns. But if you don't feel comfortable including this in the master plan, that is fine. So the first one, the town should hire a municipal facilities manager. So when I was talking with the town administrator, this is something that had been included as, like, town meeting had approved the creation of the position, but budget constraints did not permit the town to move forward with hiring at the time. The way he described it, though, it seems like it would be a really valuable position and asset to have in Douglas, given the aging buildings, and really having a professional who really knows what to invest in, what to prioritize, any preventative maintenance, things like that. So, you know, maybe this isn't something that the town can budget, you know, this year, next year, but again, it's a 10, 20-year master plan. So I think it would be worthwhile to keep as an action item and just.
It's difficult to plan.
But
it's difficult to plan with the school budgets every year. It's like, how can we plan ahead when every year the school comes in at more and more and more, and the piece of the pie that's left for the rest of the town goes down and down and down.
What kind of brought this up to the facilities manager, believe it or not, was the school asking to have their buildings assessed, and they came in with a proposal, and it would probably pay the salary for 2 years, just for assessment, not even repairs. So it would definitely
And I wonder,
save money, but it'd be very cost effective to have.
I wonder how many people actually know, like, why this is important, like, from a marketing, this position perspective. Do people know why we need this, or why it would be helpful to have? I mean, I think a lot of times things appear that there's just not a lot of information about what it is people are voting for, or background, or why you should consider this, you know, versus not.
Some people may know, some people may be familiar with facilities management, or may even be one, a facilities manager, but yeah, I agree.
Right.
People may say, well, what's that?
Why do we need that? And there are other things we need more, so I'm not going to vote for that because I'm familiar with these other items.
Right.
Did we have one?
We did.
No.
I think,
Adam did it.
What was Adam's?
Ricky Colanero did it.
I was thinking Ricky.
Well, he was,
Yes.
I won't say he was a manager, he was more than me.
He was maintenance.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Yeah, I mean, if he saw a pipe was rusting,
Right, so in
he
a
would
sense,
let you know.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's just to stay on top of things.
yeah, but
before-
whereas if you're just hiring a cleaning crew to come in and vacuum rugs and empty the trash,
Right.
they're not going to be looking at pipes and
Yeah, pipes.
caring, you know?
And whatnot, and having a running record of
Yeah,
air
What's been
conditioning
done.
units, and, you know, when was the last time this was maintained, or that was done?
that's right.
Has the position been formally proposed before or discussed in terms of developing a job description?
That's
was approved.
Town
It was
meeting had
approved.
previously approved the creation of this position,
Right,
however, budget
but-
constraints did not permit the town
That's right.
to move forward.
Right, and I think it's still a position that wants, that we need, or will want to create or fulfill.
Fund it.
If the position's approved at a town meeting, but budget constraints keep it from being filled, does that position stay, or does it go away?
It might be a
attorney
time
question.
limit.
But you-
Maybe it's going to be revisited, but
I think whatever town meeting creates, town meeting takes away. I think it stays.
I would think it would stay until it's, like Rich said, would be taken away, but I don't know if it dissolves, if it hasn't been filled within, say, 3 or 5 years. I don't know.
Well, there's no sunset provision to it, so.
Okay. So,
I just want, you know,
Do we know what, not to get too much in the nitty-gritty, do you know what kind of money we're talking about?
it
To
wasn't
fund this?
Money, it wasn't
Like 80,000?
in that zone, I think.
Yeah.
There's no wiggle room to work that out?
It's a lot of
50,000?
work, and I don't know, it wouldn't even be advertising. It's probably barely advertising at that
Yeah,
salary.
oh, I see.
But.
But we got to find the 80,000.
I think it's,
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
that's the reason
That's-
why it
that's
hasn't
a problem.
been filled.
Yeah.
and everybody's way too over to combine with another role.
A lot of people are overextended, doing more than what they really should be doing.
I know it sounds like a generalization, but I think if there's a will, there's a way.
Correct.
Yeah, if they really want it, you could work it out, you know? But that way you can check that box. One down.
So, yeah, the action item is just in general to support it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to do one or two more, or we want to maybe revisit this at the beginning of the next meeting?
Finish page 14.
Well, may as well go to 15 too, because, or we can start next month.
I'm fine either way.
What is your will as a committee? You want to keep going? You want to take it up at our next meeting?
Finish it.
I'll vote to take it over next week.
So would I. I'll second that. Oh, no, you can't vote.
Yeah, I have to leave, actually.
Okay, so, sorry, Bob.
That's okay.
So by consensus, we'll move
Yeah.
on.
That's fine.
Thank you, Emily and Sam.
Go on record, I'm the only dedicated one here.
Duly noted.
We already knew that, Bob.
Get Bob a pizza.
The tunnel.
Sidewalk.
Next to the liquor store.
Find out how many kids go to private
Yeah.
schooling.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look at.
No.
No.
Where
Hard
Jack-
data.
Emily, did you have anything else in closing, or?
No, next meeting, we'll finish this up, and then I think it'll be open space and recreation and natural, cultural, historical resources. So it'll be kind of 2 chapters in one, but there's a ton of overlap between the chapters, so.
If we're doing open space, should we ask somebody from the open space committee to come?
Did you interview them at all?
I defer to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed Gordon Anderson.
Okay.
You're too quiet, Gordon. We don't even know you're there, like a church mouse.
I'm listening and learning.
Over there in the open space.
He's a good listener, that's a good thing.
Historical, okay, we put historical.
So is there anything else
Recreation.
the committee would like to discuss?
Recreation will be in the open space chapter, yeah.
Okay, so we're good?
But don't they have the-
Motion to adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
Rep seat.
made by Bob.
Yeah, so it'll be
Seconded by
Sam
Ross.
and
All those in favor?
a new staff, Charlotte.
Go in peace.